Good morning. Good morning,
Good morning.
everybody.
Good morning.
Hi, Lance. How
We
you
have
doing?
someone with us here, Marilyn. You want
We
to introduce
do.
our guest?
Sure, I will. Well, first, I'll introduce myself in case in case some of you are watching that don't know who I am. I'm Marilyn Green with Coldwell Banker Bain, manage the Issaquah branch. Lance, you want to introduce yourself before we get to our guest this morning?
Yes, thank you. I'm Lance Goodwin, Principal Managing Broker of the Kent Station Coldwell Banker Bain office. Thanks, Marilyn.
Thank you. Good. So this morning, if you're a watcher of the Lance and Marilyn Monday morning show, we've got our first guest ever. We're so excited to welcome Joe Galindo with us this morning.
Hey.
And I've known Joe for a number of years. We met in probably 2006-ish, I'm going to guess, somewhere in there. Actually, all three of us were working at the same company at that point in time. And so good to reconnect with you again, Joe. And why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what your role is now in regards to real estate?
Thank you. Well, and thank you so much for having me on today. What an honor to be the first guest of the Marilyn and Lance Monday morning talk, coffee talk. That's great. So 30 years in real estate. I've done everything in real estate from being an assistant to an agent to owning my own brokerage firm. Marilyn, we met in 2006. It was June, I recall, because I opened a brokerage firm back then in beautiful Puyallup, Washington. And we worked together in the same office for about 6 months, I think, before my space was done. But real estate for a long time, I kind of backed my way into real estate. My mom was an agent in California, which is where I grew up, and I kind of grew up around real estate agents. But really love real estate, the business, and today I get to coach real estate agents for a living, and I'm just thrilled to be a part of the Coldwell Banker Bain team and get to coach with agents there.
Fantastic. Yeah, happy to have you on board. I guess we didn't really talk about that Coldwell Banker Bain is linked arms with Joe Galindo Coaching to provide coaching to our brokers as well. So Lance, take it away.
Very exciting to have Joe with us this morning, and also with Coldwell Banker Bain as a coach for our brokers. And I remember Joe as well. I remember out at going to his Puyallup office, and it was an awfully fun office, if I remember correctly. So I'm excited to have you with the company, Joe, and on with us this morning. I was wondering, why do real estate agents, hire a coach? What benefit do they get working with someone like yourself?
Great question. I think there are a number of benefits that you can get from coaching. And let me just first say, I think everyone can benefit from coaching, but I don't think coaching is for everybody. I think it takes a certain amount of accountability, in fact, a lot of accountability. And so it takes a willing participant on the other end to want to be held accountable. The main reason I think people sign up initially is productivity, right? They want to increase their transaction count. They want to increase their income. Others sign up for to have a healthy work-life balance. I'm reminded of a gentleman that I work with, 14 years in real estate, who when I met with about a year ago, in about 10 minutes of talking to this gentleman, I said, listen, you don't need to make more money. You're one of the top agents in your office and you make a lot of money. I said, what can I help you with? And he said, I have a wife and 2 little boys, and I don't know who they are anymore. And he said, I'm just burnt out. I think I'm done with real estate. I think this is my last year. I want to get out. And so we worked on a plan where he could have a little more work-life balance, and he still made a lot of money, but he was able to take some time off. And so we figured out a day in the week that made sense for he and his family, for him to take a day off in the week, because he hadn't been doing that for 14 years. And he's living a different life today. So sometimes it's work-life balance, but there are other benefits too. I think, building a business plan and having a lead generation system that works well for them. One of the things we do in coaching is we figure out what agents do well. I don't think that everybody does the same thing well. Some people are great at cold calling or knocking on doors or writing notes or hosting parties. And so we kind of figure out what you do really well. And then my job is to help you create a system and hold you accountable. And honestly, accountability is a big reason why most people sign up for coaching. It's funny, Inman did a survey a number of years ago, and they polled 997 brokers and asked them, what's the one main benefit that you get from coaching? And they said accountability. So that's the number one benefit I think that most people get.
Thank you.
You mentioned accountability several times, and we've all been in the business a number of years. And something I always joke with my brokers is everybody thinks they want accountability until they get it. And so coaching isn't actually the perfect fit for everybody. But who do you feel is maybe the ideal candidate for coaching? I mean, you talked a little bit about the benefits and all of that, but is there somebody who's an ideal candidate for coaching, in your opinion?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I never thought about it that way. Ideal. Here's what I think coaching isn't. Coaching is not just for the new licensees, because I hear that a lot. Well, I've been doing this for 20 years and why do I need a coach? One of the gals that I coach with, I worked with 20 years ago. She's been doing this for about 25 years now, but about 20 years ago, we worked together in the same office, a different brand across town. And she approached me last November in the office that we both worked in at the time. And she said, I hear great things about the coaching program. She said, I know what I should be doing because I've sold real estate for a high level for a long time, but without the accountability, again, there's that accountability word. Without the accountability, Joe, I simply won't do those things that I know help drive my business. So I think the misnomer is that coaching is for new licensees that don't have a plan or don't have some success in their life. But honestly, I would say 40% of the people that I'm working with right now have been in real estate for 10 years or more. And for the vast majority, 2/3 of the people, 5 years in real estate or more. So it's not just for the new licensees, but it's for the people who know what they need to do, but without the accountability, they simply won't do it.
Sure, I get that. People fall into a pattern or I'll say rut. Sometimes they get comfortable, right? And so they just need somebody to shake it up. Good.
Yep. Coaching's a process.
Thanks. I'm here. I'm taking notes.
That's great.
This is really good stuff, Joe. Thanks. So, hey, Joe, tell me this. How long should a broker plan to be in coaching until they see results?
That really depends on the person being coached and how engaged they are in their plan. So everybody that works with me, we write a business plan. And by the way, when I say business plan, I usually see agents that get eyes, the biggest coffee saucers, right? They're freaked out that they have to write something down. A business plan should not be complicated. It should be easy to understand, easy to follow, easy to explain. And it's really, there are two main components. It's, how much money do you want to make? How many sales do you want to have? It's the numbers part of what we do. And the other main component are all the action items that we have to do in order to get those numbers. You can't have one without the other. And so it takes a willing participant that engages with their plan. So it could be as early as, a few months. But it could also take, a few years before somebody really sees success in their plan. I will tell you that for most people that I'm coaching with, they see growth in their business within a 90-day period if they stick to their plan. Here's what I know to be true. It takes 30 days to create a habit. It takes 90 days for something to become habitual, right? Habitual meaning I get up, I get in my car, I drive to the office, and 10 minutes later, I'm sitting at my desk, and I don't remember making all those left and right-hand turns, but I did because I'm at the office, right? So I do that habitually every single day, and I don't think about it. It's the unconscious thought of doing things, and it takes about 90 days to create that kind of a habit. And what we have to work on initially, especially with the seasoned brokers, is breaking some of the bad habits they've been doing for the past 20 years to create the good habits to replace them. But at a minimum, 90 days, I wouldn't work with somebody who couldn't make that kind of commitment. But again, it's a process. I've got some agents that I've been working with for years and still working with today. Because again, it's the accountability piece that's not that they don't know what to do. They just won't do it unless somebody reminds them.
Right.
Nice. Excellent. Thank you.
So in the middle of a pandemic, how are you coaching right now? Are you meeting with anybody face-to-face? Is your coaching mostly virtual? Is your coaching always virtual? How's that working for you right now?
Well, until about 90 days ago, it was all live and in person in a conference room or a training center. So this is kind of my first throw at doing something online. I think this is probably the new world we're living in now. I think moving forward, we'll see a lot of this kind of interaction. I've done a few Zoom calls or video conference calls in the past, but I would say 95% of my meetings in the past were all in a conference room. I did a few over the phone, but honestly, I'd rather be live and in person, sitting at a conference room table, having a cup of coffee, because, coaching is very personal. It's like real estate agents. We tell them all the time that you're in the people business, and the sales part of what we do is kind of an end result of doing great customer service. And so we're in the people business. And like real estate agents, you know, I am one, I've been one for 30 years. As a coach, I'm in the people business. But I also understand that we have to utilize the technology. So today, certainly in the last 90 days, it's all been like this. It's all been Zoom calls or WebEx or something like that.
Sure.
Yeah. And on that note, how long are the coaching sessions generally?
The sessions themselves are 45 minutes. The cadence is typically twice a month. I do have some teams that I'm working with that I meet with on a more regular basis because they're more team, you know, I've got more people on the call. And so in order to give everybody an opportunity to speak an equal amount of time, rather than do 2 45-minute calls a month, I'm doing 3 or 4 45-minute calls a month. But in addition to the one-on-one coaching, my company also offers small group coaching that we call them Coaches Corners. In fact, I have one tomorrow that we provide to Coldwell Banker agents as well as some of the non-Coldwell Banker agent clients that I coach with as well. And it's an hour-long talk where I throw out a topic, and then we kind of see where the conversation goes. It's really kind of an open forum where everybody gets to have a voice. So like tomorrow, we're going to talk about the art of negotiation and some skills that you can use to be a good negotiator in the multiple offer world that we live in today, right? We got to be really skilled at what we do. And so I'll share my thoughts on the topic, and then we just open it up to the 40 or 50 people on the call, and they get to share their thoughts around that particular topic as well. So those are twice a month. And then the one-on-one coaching, again, typically twice a month for 45 minutes.
Perfect.
Fantastic. So I think if we look at maybe wrapping up our little conversation this morning, Joe, is there anything else that you would like to let anybody know about your coaching program before we sign off, and also how people can get a hold of you if they're interested in connecting with you?
Sure. Yes. Well, I appreciate the time this morning, you guys. This is a real honor to be on with you today. If you're considering coaching, whether you're brand new to the business or you just feel like you need, a pat on the back or a kick in the behind, if you will, a coach, the best analogy that I could use to describe a coach is that person that gets to look at your golf swing from a distance. So consider me the personal trainer for real estate agents, right? Even professional athletes have trainers or coaches that help them with their swing or help them with their mechanics of what they're doing. That's really what I do. I help agents with the mechanics of what they do. How they can reach me is pretty simple. They can go to my website at joegalindocoaching.com. There's information there on how to sign up online. Obviously, I've got a little different program for the Coldwell Banker agents. We worked out a different payment schedule, but for the non-Coldwell Banker agents, go to the website. There's some testimonials there for people that I work with, have helped along the way. Or you can email me at joe@joegalindocoaching.com as well, and we'll be able to answer your questions.
Fantastic. Hey, we said the same thing. Look at that. Me and you.
Yay.
Meeting of the minds.
Meeting of the minds. I love it.
I really appreciate you coming on with us this morning, and I'm so glad we're all reconnected again after so many years. And I hope this all provides to be fruitful for you in our journey.
So far, so good. And by the way, it's a small world, this real estate community, right? It's amazing how we keep bumping into each other. But love the fact that I get to work with the Coldwell Banker family. It's been an honor to be able to be a part of that team. Get to hop on a phone call here in a few minutes with the Monday morning sales meeting for the Bellevue team. And it's just an honor to be with you guys today. So thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us.
All right.
Thanks for joining us, Joe.
Thank you.
Welcome to Bain. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right. Take care.
Everybody stay safe out there.